We're here back at the bake oven, and we're going to test the temperature for the first time. There are several ways of doing it traditionally. One was to toss cornmeal in and to count the number of seconds it took before it turned brown. I use the forearm method, and we'll show you how that works. Get your bare forearm, stand real close to the bake oven, and stick your hand in and start counting. 1, 2, woo! 1, 2. She's hot. She's still hot. Yes, I think it singed a little bit of my fur there. What we're looking for is we're looking for it to cool down to the point where I can hold my arm in for a slow count of 6. Now that's going to differ from person to person and from oven to oven. Each person has a different sensitivity to heat, but through a lot of experience, I've learned that on this oven, I hold my hand in for a slow 6, meaning like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and then when I can hold it in for 6, then it's ready to put the bread in. On our bake oven at the Schuylkill County Fairgrounds that we built as we demonstrated in the 4-day bake oven on YouTube, it takes 5. I found that if I wait until 6, it's too late. And while I have enough to bake the bread, enough heat to bake the bread, there's not enough often to actually finish off things like the pies, which take a lot of time and need a lot of saturated heat. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go back to the Gemeinde house. We're going to clean out our dough boxes. We'll show you how we do that. And basically we're going to wait until the oven cools off enough so that we can start to bake. Well, here we are down on our knees again. It's time to clean the dough trays and the dough troughs. I have 2 different kinds of trays, boxes, troughs today. 2 are indeed troughs, scooped out. However, this one, the only one from Pennsylvania, is actually made very much like a cradle. It has 4 sides that slant down. They are attached to a bottom. Each one of these has to be scraped out. We do not wash. Let me repeat that. We do not wash dough boxes. Okay. They are to be scraped out, scraped clean. Do not put water into these because it will lose the seasoning. The oils that have actually soaked into the wood will be pulled out. It will dry out your dough box. It will rot faster. And once you lose the oils in the essential oils in the wood, the dough sticks even worse to the wood than it does already. So we're going to use this type of dough scraper with the sharp angled sides on this dough box. The dough scraper has a handle on it and a beaten flattened side that actually is the scraper part. So there is a one-piece tool with a flattened scraper and a handle. And all you do is just scrape it out. Not always the easiest thing, because sometimes it really sticks. But the sharp angled sides really make a difference in this type of construction. If we had a sound man, he'd probably be ripping off his headphones by this time, so it's probably good we have a low-key operation here. Normally I do this out on the grass, but because the grass is soaking wet from the rain today, we're going to do it on here. Our birds love to eat this stuff. We had hogs, they love to eat this stuff. The birds will peck and peck and peck at this until it's all gone. People often ask if we have a compost pile here. I say yes, all 65 acres. But there's always something to eat what you've got, any kind of scraps, especially dough scraps. Now, the very thing that makes this dough scraper work well on this type of dough box, the fact that you can get into the corners and scrape it out, makes it inappropriate for our two dough troughs. Now, the dough troughs are European. The smaller one is from Ukraine. They're made out of some sort of fur, Eastern European fur, and they've been scooped out of a solid piece of wood. For this, I need a different type of scraper than the ones I was using because it has a straight side on it. The straight side doesn't fit into the curves. You end up doing little bits of edging. So I thought to myself, you know, what I really need is a curved dough scraper. And I've never seen one. I've seen hundreds. I've never seen a curved dough scraper. So I found myself demonstrating baking next to a blacksmith one time. And I asked him if he would make a curved dough scraper. I showed him the troughs I was using. He said, no problem. He had this one the next day, the Half Moon dough scraper. It fits perfectly into the curves of these troughs. Depending on how compulsive you are, you can really work a long time at that. I'm not that compulsive today. Now, this large trough is from Eastern Germany. It could be 150 years old, it could be 500 years old. I mean, this type was made for centuries. I doubt it's 500 years old, but the idea is the same. In terms of scooping out the wood out of a single block of wood, scooping out the interior. It's just like making a dugout canoe. In America, this craft is called treenware, T-R-E-E-N, treenware. And you see it used for many types of, especially kitchen utensils. I see it used for bowls, dishes, plates. It's possible that this type of dough trough was first used in the early colonies, but once the more craftsman-like woodworker type of constructed sided dough bots came in, these were quickly supplanted, and actually I've never seen one that was identified as being American made. We can see how well it works in terms of scraping out the dough. Again, you can be very compulsive about this, but not today.